sentence. We're going to give you a throwback. And the throwback is from 13 years ago, which is unbelievable. Makes me feel well old. And obviously, we gave major props to Ben Affleck before. Obviously, his career in the acting sense has obviously been a bit of a roller coaster. He starred in my all-time favourite, which was obviously the throwback last week that you all should know by now. And he's had some amazing films, some amazing roles. He's had some down times. Wasn't it Gigli that he did with his now wife?
Yeah.
Which was obviously is being called one of the worst films ever. He starred in Daredevil, which
I like that. Pretty... Nope, not having that. Daredevil was amazing. Watch Daredevil. It's great. Not having it.
This is a movie.
I hate people.
You're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be pranking people.
I hate people who have a go at Daredevil. It is such a good comic book. It's an old-fashioned, really good, fun comic book film.
You sound like Daredevil. Honestly, you sound like Daredevil. Blind. Here we go. So from 2010, a proficient group of thieves rob a bank and hold Claire, the assistant manager, hostage. Things begin to get Things begin to get complicated when one of the crew members fall in love with Claire. It is 2010's amazing drama/thriller that stars Ben Affleck, is directed by Ben Affleck, and with the most amazing co-stars in John Hamm as an FBI agent, who you will know from Mad Men, amongst other things, Jeremy Renner, who plays Ben Affleck's brother, who's just absolutely amazing. You got Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds' wife, in there, Rebecca Hall, Pete Postlethwaite, who
is terrified.
He is one scary man. And obviously, you know, he passed away, I think maybe 6 months after The Town, which is obviously a very sad loss for the acting world and fans everywhere. But what a role! One of his last roles to go out on. He was brilliant. He plays like a real bad guy in there. So The Town, I always remember The Town, right, is this. 2010 comes around, and I used to go to the cinema all the time. And I don't know what happened around that time. I had a lot going on, and normally I'm well up to date on my movies and the reviews on films and who's in what and who does what and whatever. And I just remember going to the pictures. And it was one of those random things where you go to the pictures without knowing what film you're going to watch. It was like, oh, should we watch that? And then I just remember knowing that Ben Affleck was in The Town. And I was like, oh, let's go and watch The Town. And I sat there, and it was one of the best cinema experiences. It must be a Ben Affleck thing, like Armageddon. It was one of the best because it is so tense. It makes your palms sweaty. But the acting's amazing. The action is out of this world, and it builds up to this big scene towards the end, which, no spoilers here, we are a spoiler-free podcast, and it is just an unbelievable watch. Now, it is one of those films that I feel, and we say this a lot, and this is why we do the throwback, that's kind of slipped under the radar. So much so that Cockney John actually hadn't seen it. So when I told him, listen, I want to do a Ben Affleck directed film, it's a throwback, we've got to do The Town, and he was just like, I don't think I've seen The Town. And I said, right, homework. and you've not got a good history of doing your homework, but it was like, you've got to watch The Town. And you watched it, and yeah, you loved it, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, and I know why I didn't watch it, and I think it could be a reason why a lot of people didn't watch it. I remember the adverts coming out, and I was like, oh, it's Good Will Hunting 2. It's Ben Affleck's character is just, you know, Matt Damon's left to be a world-class mathematician, and Ben Affleck's been left there and becomes a bank robber. And the first, I'd say, the first scene didn't do anything to change that. In the bank, didn't do anything to change that. I thought Jeremy Renner's character I was just like, oh yeah, typical. There's always one in every group of bank robbers who goes a bit too far. There's nothing new here. And then about 2 minutes afterwards, I was like, Jesus, Jeremy Renner's scary. Jeremy Renner, he transforms in that film. He absolutely transforms. And, you know, we've all seen him in his interviews. He's happy-go-lucky. Even when he's playing Hawkeye, he's making jokes. Am I boring you, bruv?
No, not at all. No,
just watching you check your watch. Sorry.
No, do you know why I check my watch? Because we're recording this at 8:00, and my wife has literally just texted me, which has come through to my watch, saying, "Try and be quieter."
Oh really?
Oh right. And I think I'm only being loud, laughing at my own jokes, which is sad.
Yeah.
No, but I'm fully invested in the Renner chat, because I think if you actually look at Jeremy Renner's filmography, I think this was really one that announced him big, like 100%.
Yeah. And it's weird because obviously he went to Marvel, but you know, Hawkeye's sort of, he's not in the big action scenes, is he? He's always sort of, you know, he's shooting his arrows quick and all that, you know. And once he's run out, nice one, Hawkeye. See you in a bit. But in this, I would rather, if I was an Avenger, I would rather have James Coughlin, his character in this, stood next to me than Hawkeye.
Yeah.
100%. Because you might not like him afterwards, but he's going to get you through it, isn't he?
He doesn't really give heroic vibes, though, in terms of a worldwide superhero. He is a dirty but
he'd be sat behind Thanos, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd be getting those Infinity Stones, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But Adam and Cockney John's Big Movie Podcast, we highly, highly recommend it. If you get a chance, watch The Town. It is brilliant. If you've not seen it, it's a perfect movie to put on Friday or Saturday night when you're chilling, kids are in bed, and it's just it's amazing. I couldn't recommend it highly enough.